Prominent attorney at law Nigel Hughes continues to hold the view that there is need for constitutional reform, particularly in light of the situation that the country has found itself in just after December 21 last.
One of the reasons I departed from politics was that I didn't think that there was sufficient enthusiasm amongst my colleagues for constitutional reform, amongst other things. So I'm not likely to. I certainly support genuine efforts that are made for constitutional reform. I don't think it's a solution, but it's the first step.
When Hughes got into politics back in 2011, he said there were hopes that he could make a change through lobbying for constitutional reform.
I was unable to advance that sufficiently, and so, I did what I did, which is now history.
Meanwhile, on the issue of the no-confidence motion, the attorney has no doubt that it has impacted negatively on society.
I think there's no doubt that the experience of the no-confidence vote and its consequence and the political rhetoric that followed it has certainly further damaged the relations between the several people of Guyana, particularly between the African and Indian population. I think the political rhetoric of some of the leaders perhaps ought to have not been uttered, certainly not in the manner in which it was uttered. And therefore, there's a lot of work that has to be done to repair that damage. How we begin to do it, I don't know. There are many ways that we could do it. I think that's what we need to be working on. I've said this before, and several persons have said this before. Elections don't solve our problems. Our problems are much deeper than elections, and we really have to be committed to addressing them, identifying them and addressing them. We probably know what they are, but addressing them.
And while some persons hold the view that the attorney at law should have been conferred with Silk for his input in putting forward the notion that 34 votes were needed to constitute a majority, he says that such accolades at this time is marginal in his interest.
I think that call is very kind. I think people are generous, perhaps responding to the moment. The conferral of Silk is a matter entirely for the president. That is in his discretion. He clearly was not of the view that I was deserving, so that is his view. And I think to attempt to even express a view on it publicly, whether friends, family, or otherwise, is really to put undue pressure on the president. And from a personal point of view, it would be very difficult for me at this stage to even accept such an award. The two people who I think deserve that award and were I privileged enough to have gotten it are no longer with me, both of my parents. It really would have been a salute to their efforts and their investment in their children, particularly me in this case.
Handel Duncan, HGP Nightly News.